Early National Signing Day has come and gone. The 2024 class is almost fully built, and our Christmas presents are finally under the tree. 2 5-stars, 11th ranked 2024 class. I'm happy. War Eagle. I'm Jake Lazarus with Eli Lingo and Connor King. Eli, Connor, how are you guys doing? Merry Christmas.
Hey, Merry Flipmas, man. I am feeling good.
I'm feeling great. Just happy we got our guys.
I'm happy. I'm excited. So, obviously, the two guys that we've been hyper-focused on for the last month or two, Perry Thompson and Cam Coleman, right? Two of the best receivers in the country are now Auburn Tigers, the highest-ranked Auburn wide receiver recruiting class in history. So, there's a lot to look forward to. But, Eli, I wanted to start with you. What do you think these two guys mean to Hugh Freeze, his first true recruiting class, and the Auburn Tigers moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, this is probably the momentum changer of the entire program, I would say, as a whole. I mean, our biggest problem last year was receivers, and I think that's kind of been a lackluster thing Auburn has had for the past 10 years, I would say. So, being able to pull these two 5-star receivers from other SEC teams like Alabama, Texas A&M, two of our big rivals, is huge for Hugh Freeze and Auburn, and I'm just excited to see what these two kids are going to do at Auburn.
Connor, you got any thoughts about them? I know. Isn't Cam or Perry from your area?
Yeah, Perry Thompson's actually from Foley. It's a town over, and he's being a wide receiver at Foley. You're always in the shadow of Julio Jones, and to see someone of that caliber in Perry Thompson, it's just so exciting. It has the entire 251 just rooting for him, and we haven't seen this good of a player in a really long time. And with Cam Coleman too, he's from Phoenix City. He's about 45 minutes an hour out of Auburn as well, and he's electric. He played a great game in the state championship. Number two wide receiver in the country. Number 6 player overall. He's insane. He's just a firepower, and having both of those guys on the outside is going to be so exciting next season.
Oh yeah.
I think the scouting report that I have for both of these guys is not only the size and not only the speed, but the ability for big plays. So it could be a 3-yard slant or a 60-yard go route. But the explosiveness that both of these guys have, it'll open up a lot for this offense. And whether a guy like Jarquez Hunter returns or we'll have Damari Alston or Jeremiah Cobb, it'll open up this run game because you can't stack the box. It'll let Peyton Thorne or whoever the quarterback is in 24 maybe be a little bit more mobile or open up the playbook for a guy like Hugh Freeze. So I think these guys will have, like I said before, such an immediate impact on this offense and the output that they will put in 2024. So maybe let's take a look outside of these two guys, because I think every Auburn fan is excited for these two. And if you're not, you should go to a doctor. But let's take a look outside of these guys. So, Connor, I'll start with you. Who are you most excited for outside of these 2 5-star wide receivers?
I'm really excited for DeAndre Carter to come on the Plains. It's just really, really nice to know that we have a really talented offensive lineman coming in. He's number 1 interior offensive lineman in the country. And, he's going to develop under Hugh Freeze. I'm just really excited. We've lost a few guys on our O-line in the offseason in the portal. So it's good to have a big anchor like that come in and develop over the next 3-4 years.
I mean, you mentioned we've lost a few, but guys like Connor Liu stepped up in the middle of last year due to injury. And, I mean, he definitely didn't disappoint. He played well in the run, played well in the pass. So I think we have a lot to look forward to from offensive line production. I mean, I just mentioned those running backs, so I think it's something to keep an eye out for in spring ball, in the bowl game, how our offensive line produces, because it'll look fairly similar next year as it did towards the end of this season with Connor Liu. Eli, who are you most excited for outside of those two guys? Connor mentioned DeAndre Carter. Is it offensive? Is it defense? And what are we looking at?
So yeah, I think I have a couple of guys, and they're all on offense. One is probably the guy that really started this whole 2024 class and really gelled everything together. Walker White, one of the better dual threat quarterbacks in the entire 2024 class. Kid from Arkansas, and I've never seen a kid like him recruit and be as enthusiastic as he's been with these kind of other kids in his class. I mean, I would say he's probably handpicked Perry Thompson, Cam Coleman, and those guys like that. and he's just gone out there and he's been on the recruiting trail as well. So I like the that kind of tenacity that he has, and that's only good things to see from a quarterback. We need somebody like that can lead, that has that kind of that kind of will to do the things he wants to get done. So that's always good. And then two other receivers that we signed, Bryce Kane and Malcolm Simmons. Those two guys are, I feel like, maybe the most slept on kids in our entire recruiting class, just because you have the two 5-stars. But those two kids are really good. Another kid, Malcolm Simmons from Baker. Bryce Kane. Wait, no, Bryce Kane's from Baker. Malcolm Simmons is from. Sorry, but Bryce Kane is elite speed, man. He is track star. Probably runs like a 4.3, 4.4 electric, and then Michael Simmons, he's gonna go make big plays. So those two kids, and Walker White are my other guys.
So you mentioned Walker White. He was committed during the Harsin era, or I'm sorry, he verbally committed during the Harsin era. He maintained his commitment when Harsin was fired and maintained when Hugh Freeze was hired. So he's committed to not only the program but the school. So to see a kid like that be as committed to the school as I think the three of us are and most Auburn fans are, I think it's special. And to see him recruit the way that he's recruited, whether it's the Freeze 5 or it's the Christmas wish list shirt that he wore, the Iron Bowl, or whatever you want to say, I think it's really special to see that. I'm not sure that he's the guy in 24. I'm not sure how you guys feel about that, and I think we could do an entire episode strictly Auburn about this, what his future at Auburn looks like. I'm not sure if next year's the year, if when 2025 comes around, or 26, but I'm excited for whatever he'll bring to the field. And Connor, I kind of wanted to ask you, what do you see Walker White bringing to the field, not just as a recruiter and as an Auburn man, but like his play style? How do you think that fits in with what Hugh Freeze is trying to do with these new receivers?
I think he has a cannon. He's not the best throw power that I've seen out of any quarterback, but he definitely can throw the ball, and that's important with the guys we have on the outside, the receiver. I also think he's able to run the ball well. Not as good as someone like Peyton Thorne or even Robbie Ashford at times, but I think that once he's in the system and he sees the field a little bit, he will become more aware in the pocket. And I think overall he's just a leader on the field, and he's going to make plays regardless, and he's going to do everything for Auburn. That's the guy he is, and I think he's been like that his whole life, and he was raised to be an Auburn quarterback, kind of like Bo Nix was. So I think that whenever he's on the field, he's going to put his entire life on the field and make some big plays.
Eli,
Good.
You brought him up. I just want to ask another question about Walker. Are you nervous at all if Peyton comes back like we all think he will, or if Hugh Freeze goes out and finds a transfer quarterback? We're all really excited for what Walker White brings to this program, but are you nervous that if he doesn't see the field, whether it's freshman, sophomore year, are you nervous that the portal will become an option?
I'm not nervous for that because I think he'll see the field sophomore year. I think the type of athlete that Walker White is and the kind of leader he is probably something that we haven't seen in Auburn in a long time. I mean, look, I love Peyton Thorne. I think he's a good guy. But the athletic ability you get with Walker White and the accuracy, all the intangibles that he has is something that we've needed at Auburn in a really long time. And that what's even better is the kids that he's brought in, like Cam Coleman and Perry, that are going to help him out tremendously. And maybe if he's not the best thrower or best passer, guys like that are going to help him out and make plays that are going to help him. So I think I'm not worried about that at all. I think Walker White's going to I think he'll be the starter in the next year or two. He's a really good kid, man. I've watched some film on him. An NFL comp, that this might sound a little bit crazy, but it's almost like a Josh Allen because he's physical, he's athletic, he's fast. I mean, if you watch some of his highlights, he's hitting hurdles, he's doing spin moves. I mean, he's legit, and I think he's a little bit underrated as well. So be on the lookout for Walker White. We'll be hearing his name soon.
He's a big guy too. Like he is. He's got some strength on him too. That makes me excited.
Yeah.
So I just want to, because it's early signing day, I think it's worth looking at the guys that will be back in Auburn uniforms next season, or maybe guys who are on the fence. So just as a quick note before we wrap it up, Jarquez is a name to watch out for. There's a lot of rumor as to whether he'll be back for his senior campaign next season, or will he declare for the NFL draft. He's still up in the air whether or not he'll play in the Music City Bowl, but I don't know. We'll figure that one out. Jalen Simpson is another name to keep an eye on, with KJ Bolden committing to Georgia earlier today. I think the door is open for Jalen Simpson, whether or not he is back at Auburn, and I'm sure NIL money will speak wonders to that. And the return of Rivaldo Fairweather keeps and Luke Deal will keep that tight end room locked up. We'll have a captain or two out of that room. So I think those names are ones to look out for. Am I missing any guys, or do you guys want to talk a little bit to those?
You're missing on two of the biggest guys that have returned from Auburn, Eugene Asante and Keontae Scott. Those two
Right.
guys are probably, two of the biggest pieces on our defense that we had all year. Those guys are like getting 6 KJ Boldens. So I'm not too worried about not signing KJ
Whoa.
because with Eugene Asante and Keontae Scott, geez, this defense is going to be dirty next year.
I like that statement. I think I need a T-shirt with that on it.
6 KJ Bolden. That's hilarious.
But I seriously, I think you return 2 defensive captains.
Easy,
Like,
yeah.
I think that's huge. I think the return of Eugene Asante is, don't get me wrong. We're tired. I like that.
And another thing too, Eugene and Keontae have been recruiting so much. I see them on everybody's Twitter replies. Yeah, and Jalen as well too. Absolutely, yeah. All three of them they're putting in work.
For sure.
Love to see it.
Don't get us wrong. We see it all. We see early signing day. We're looking forward to whatever the date is in February for National Signing Day. Hopefully we flip a guy like Ryan Williams in this class, bumps from 11 to somewhere in the 7-8 range. We can only go up from here. We can only go up from the last 3 seasons. I'm excited. I know you guys are excited. And if you're listening to this or watching us, you're clearly excited because you're definitely an Auburn fan. So War Eagle. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, at Strictly Auburn _ at the end. Go like, subscribe on YouTube, Spotify. If you're watching on YouTube, go listen on Spotify. If you're listening on Spotify, go watch on YouTube at Eagle Eye TV. Am I missing anything, guys?
That's it, boys. War Eagle.
War Eagle. Let's go.